What is going on, guys? Joaquin Corrales, welcome back to the channel. And guys, in this video, I'm gonna update you on my 2018 goals and basically talk about goal setting in general. I just got back from biking in Key Biscayne. I biked like over 15 to 20 miles easily, and my legs are in so much pain. You guys could see the bike there in the back. I actually have a Cannondale something if you guys are interested in biking. It was pretty awesome. I used to bike a lot in Key Biscayne. Key Biscayne is like a beach part area of, it's very close to Miami Beach. I live in Miami, by the way, if you guys don't know where I live. You probably do by now. But anyways, let's talk about goal setting. So by the end or near the end of 2017, I released a video with my goals for 2018. And I basically want to make this video to kind of update more or less how some of the things that were on there are now no longer on there and why, right? And how that happens as an entrepreneur. So as you progress through your entrepreneurship journey and as you figure things out and make decisions, right? You have to be good at making decisions when you're an entrepreneur. You're gonna realize that you're gonna make some goals sometimes, and then those goals are gonna get thrown in the trash, and you're gonna move forward and pick something else, right? And decide to do something else. Now, I'm not saying that you should be all over the place as an entrepreneur. It's actually the opposite as to why I changed some things off of there, right? So I really drilled into my mind coming into 2018 the idea that I wanted to focus on one thing, right? And if you guys know the book The One Thing by, I don't know who wrote it, right? I know it's an awesome book. I've heard great things about it. I haven't read it actually, but all I know is that the main thesis of the book is that you should just focus on one thing. And if you focus on one thing, then you are going to become the best at it, or something like that, whatever. The power of focusing on the one thing, right? And I realized that in my goals, I was focusing on a lot more than one thing, right? And what that other thing was a company that I was starting at the time called Software Flow, right? And what Software Flow was basically, it was going to be a software that helped entrepreneurs build software, right? So I think that there's a whole bunch of people out there, even right now, I think that there's tons of people out there, and there's always going to be tons of people out there that have an idea for a software, but to them, creating that and making that actually become a product seems overwhelming, and it seems out of reach, and they have no idea what it takes for them to get there. And mainly the reason why I know that feeling is because I was exactly there as well. So a long time ago, I had a lot of different ideas for software and this and that. And when you don't program, when you're not a programmer, and you don't understand what it takes to create a software and what it means and what steps you need to take in order to be able to get there, it is super overwhelming to kind of understand what it's going to take for you to create a software. But I mean, I taught myself how to program a long time ago, and I'm a developer. If you guys didn't know, I'm part developer. It kind of sounds like an ethnicity, but whatever. So it's very easy for me to come up with a software idea and then know exactly what I need to do, exactly what the database needs to look like, exactly how long it's gonna take for me to build, right? Like for example, last week, I decided that I wanted to create a software to help people that were interested in e-commerce, right? I think that one of the biggest things when it comes to e-commerce for people is that they're not able to pick the right products, right? So what I did was that I told my team, I designed a database, and within 4 days we had a software. We have a software right now that is up and running, and you guys actually can't get it yet. I'll let you know if I decide to open it. But basically what the software is a website where you sign in, and then in there you have a bunch of winning e-commerce products. So the best products that are selling right now from the top Shopify stores out there. And not only that, but all you have to do is click one button, and if you click that one button, then the product is gonna get added to your store with the prices, the variants, the description, right? Because when you import a product, when you're gonna find a product to sell online, you have to do all this research in AliExpress and this and that, and then you import it to Oberlo, and then in Oberlo or Oberlo, whatever you wanna call it, you import it, but the description is the one from AliExpress. So a lot of people also struggle in coming up with a good description. So what we did was that we created the software, the best products are there, Most of them are hand-picked, but we're also working on creating an algorithm to be able to put these products on there by itself. And not only that, but we also have the advertisements on there, okay? So right now, there's only a handful of people in the software, right? And what we do is that there's new products added every single day, right? I have a team that is hand-picking these products. You literally go in there, you press a button, the product gets added into your store, then you scroll a little bit down, and there's a whole bunch of different ads there. You pick the ad that you're going to run, you click use this advertisement, and then you have the type of advertisement, the targeting, what you're gonna say in the advertisement, the picture, what your budget is, how long you're gonna run it for. It's absolutely everything that you need to start getting your first sales in e-commerce, right? So guys, you can get into it right now, but if I do open it up later on in the future, then I'll make sure to let you guys know so you can go ahead and get into that. We're still fixing a couple things, but it's awesome. Like, we used it with one of the products on there, and we were able to get a store to over $15,000 in the first like 10 days. It was absolutely insane. But anyways, I took off software flow from that and from my goals, right? I kind of, and the funny part is, and this just happens with entrepreneurship, we finished creating that software. So I had my team of developers for 2 months, right? It was a 2-month mistake. That was a super expensive mistake. I had them working on software flow for 2 months, right? And as an entrepreneur, as the lead of the organization, I guess you could call it, that sounded very formal. As the owner of this business, I had to make the decision, and I was like, hey, we spent 2 months on this. It cost me a shit ton of money, but we're gonna stop it. We're just gonna set it aside for now, because I wanna focus on e-commerce. I wanna focus on contact flow. I wanna focus on being able to bring value to people that are interested in getting into e-commerce and learning how to do Facebook advertising for e-commerce. And so a lot of the tools and a lot of the softwares that we work on today are all around that same kind of niche, which is e-commerce, right? And I think that's awesome for you guys, because a lot of people that watch this channel are actually involved in e-commerce, or you're looking to start your own online store, or you're interested in Facebook advertising. So Facebook advertising and e-commerce and all of that are the tools and kind of the niche that we're hovering around right now. Email marketing obviously as well, because that has to do with e-commerce. Email marketing, it accounts for a ton of money when it comes to your e-commerce store, as far as abandoned cart and all of those types of things. And so that's it, guys. So I had that in my goals, right? And that accounted for a lot of the money that I was going to supposedly make this year from software flow and software flow mentoring, because I was also going to start a mentorship program for that company so that I could mentor people on creating their own software, since I've been able to create so many softwares and so many different apps. But yeah, it's extremely exciting anyways, even though that got wiped off the list, because now we're more following kind of that train of thought of the one thing, right? Which is that we're focusing on one thing, and that is bringing as much value to everyone out there with e-commerce. Now, another thing that I actually added to my 2018 goals, actually very recently, is a huge focus on personal branding. So I'm gonna start releasing a ton more content. I'm gonna start going live every single week to bring you guys as much value as possible. If you guys are not following me on Instagram, go and follow me on Instagram. My Instagram username is Joaquin.Corrales. It's also in the description. And actually, the software that I spoke about before, that's gonna give you all the products and advertising and all of that for your e-commerce store, the name of it is the E-com Explorer. So here's what I'm gonna do. If you guys go right now, after the video actually, go after this video, make sure that you like this video, that you post a comment, and go follow me on Instagram. And I'm gonna be picking out a couple of people throughout the next couple of days that did that, and giving them access to the E-com Explorer, okay? And the E-com Explorer is just getting started, because what I wanna do in that software as well is that I wanna give you guys the ability to start your advertisements in just one click, okay? I think that a lot of beginners, a lot of people out there that are struggling to get their first couple of sales and to really get into the e-commerce game, is because they struggle in finding the products and being able to know what to say in their advertisements. So this little software that we created in literally like a week, it's gonna allow us to do all of that, right? And basically what the software really brings to light is a special strategy in picking the right products, right? A special strategy in picking the right products that we now are working on creating an algorithm around, right? So we've been using that strategy to pick products for the longest time. That's why we were able to create a store in like 10 days and get it to over $15,000 following that same strategy. But now it is in this actual software. So that is what is great. That is an update on the goals where I'm putting a lot more emphasis on personal branding. And I'm really gonna have to like get out of my comfort zone here, because what I'm also gonna be doing a lot is doing Instagram stories. And I feel kind of weird doing that. I don't know why, I feel kind of weird doing that. So I'm gonna have to kind of get out of my comfort zone there for a while until I get used to it. Like with everything, right? I think with YouTube, it was the same when I was getting started. Like it feels kind of weird talking to a camera. And I'm actually recording from my phone right now in the car, and I really hope that the sound is being recorded, because if I just recorded 11 minutes and the sound does not work, that's gonna suck. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Drop a comment down below on what you guys are working on. Give me an update of your goals of 2018. Are you guys keeping yourselves accountable? Are you making sure that every single day you're working on something that's gonna put you one step closer to achieving whatever it is that you want to achieve? I'll see you guys on the next video.